And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie's going to be a little bit late today due to an accident on I-20. He's out of the accident helping with the situation that has happened. As we'll get more information on it, we'll pass on. But here's the scene. If you're traveling east on I-20 this morning, there is an accident involving an 18-wheeler. Let's pull up a picture here of what we've got from the scene here. This truck, this rig's off in the bushes here. Could have been anything as we had the other night. A front tire blew out on the rig and he wrecked. Could have happened here. The guy could have fallen asleep. He was being taken out of the vehicle. From what we understand, it was minor injuries to begin with, is what I was told. We hadn't learned any more from that in the last few moments, so we look to learn a little bit more here in the next few moments. How are you today? Ooh, I can already feel the heat as we have 76 at this point, climbing for a high of 100 according to the National Weather Service, and that heat index 108. It's going to be outrageously warm today. Again, let's take a look here at radar of what we've got when it comes to all of this and these heat. What we've got here's radar. All of this area that's shaded is under heat advisory, and as you'll see there, until 7 p.m. tonight is what we're expecting on this. So it's going to be warm. You're going to get hot. There's no way around it. What we do suggest is staying indoors the most you can in between now and 7 p.m. If you got to work, cut it off by 10 a.m. this morning. Go back out after 7 o'clock. It is that hot no matter what you do, and it can overtake you is what I'm getting at. We don't want that to happen to you at all by any means there. Pat, how are y'all doing? James says the heat offends him. I may have to join you on that one. I believe in it. Miss LaWanda is up today as well. Jessica Smith, good morning from Utah, Alabama. Speaking of Alabama, I want to say a big thank you. I'll be headed to Cuba, Alabama today. I've been asked by the nice folks there at the Cuba Baptist Church to come over and be a guest speaker today. I think that starts at around 11:30. So if you're going to be in the Cuba, Alabama area, I invite you by. Should be a great time. I'm looking forward to it. We set that up a few months ago. And I look forward to going to Cuba. It's been quite some time since I've been there. Kind of like a homecoming. All the Beavers and all those good folks that live there in Cuba. Look forward to it. We'll see you there again. I think that's around 11:30 today. I think I need to be on site 11 o'clock-ish. Am I right, folks? I think that's right. Forest, Mississippi joining us. Dale, how in the world are you doing there, my friend? Chet's joining us there from Center Hill. Can't miss him in the curve. He'll be taking care of probably your car and your neighbor's car. Happens from time to time, doesn't it, Chet there? Rusty, lovely day in Lutheran community. Well, we got folks from a little bit of everywhere today. Let's see. Iris says her sister is a member of the church there at Cuba Baptist. Forest, Mississippi. Yep, I do like that. I've been through there many a times. You can't pass through there without hitting, the Wendy's there on the right when you go through. When you got to have something, they've got it for you. A few things as we begin today. There's a lot to talk about what's gone on over the last 24 hours. And again, for the third night in a row, we've had a shooting. Or third day is probably a better way to word that. We'll tell you more about that. Let's see here. Let's start out with what's going on today. There is going to be elections today, some runoffs as we get ready for what's going on. Could a squad member get taken out? It's up on the ballot today. Corey, are you familiar with her? Corey Bush, she's a Democrat. She's a part of that, what they call the squad. She's trying to get reelected today to stay on the ballot to face November. We'll see what becomes of that. Last night, let's just jump to this. Kamala is officially now the Democratic nominee. Had enough votes. They did a virtual. She's got the majority of the votes. She will be the Democrat nominee when it comes to this fall. November is when it's going to happen here. So we're going to watch this, see what becomes of it, and report on it. Let's see here. Today, also, we should be, as we speak of Kamala, we should be finding out who the VP is. Now, and again, when it comes to vice presidential candidates, I'm not a good guess at that. As we were sitting at lunch before Trump announced his, me and Greg and Odie were talking who it would be, and I said, it's probably going to be somebody we've never heard of. And if I don't know the Republican side, I certainly don't know who or much about the Democrat side. But expected to be a male. We'll see what becomes of it today. That news should be coming out before long. So if you're a betting man or if you're for her, expect that news today. I had another story on her this morning, I thought. But, this is it. And we often talk about it. We saw what happened to Trump. Y'all saw that. It was a shot fired at Trump not long ago. Someone is going to jail this morning, and they should. You don't do this, whether you like a political candidate or not. It's a no-no in our world. We've got someone that's been charged with threatening to kill her. What he was, it was on, I forget, let me see if I can even find the site here. I wasn't familiar with all these different places that you can go. He made a threat against her life. Frank Carlillo of Winchester, Pennsylvania. Getter, Gettr. Anybody familiar with that? He had a fake name, and don't let that fool you. And this even goes back to our local schools. When people make threats on this stuff, they think by using a fake name, a fake account, they can get away with it. When they go to looking, each computer has a IP address. It's kind of like your driver's license number. If you use one of those, it's going to be found. That's what's going to happen. Let me turn that down. So he's headed off to jail. How many years he will face, I'm not exactly sure. So that's in the headlines this morning. Around here, that's all I had on her as we see this. We did have a base attacked, some injuries in the United States, a base in Iraq. Have y'all heard about this? Will the United States retaliate? There's a good chance we will. We should. We cannot have people attacking our bases. There's nothing like the economy falling. I made mention of this a moment ago. There's nothing like having problems with the economy and having a good war to save you. Let's certainly hope this doesn't lead to that. As we saw the stock market yesterday take the biggest plunge at 1,000 points is down. We've got a lot of unsettledness that's going on in the Middle East. What's going to become of it? But we do know that one of our bases was struck, and we do have some injured boys. We can't let people do this, do we? Terry, how are you? And again, my grandson's going to be 7 today, Nolan Turner. Well, congratulations there. We'll try to get the birthdays on. Maybe Odie will make it. We'll see where he is and what he's doing here in a moment. I hadn't had a chance to talk to him. He's been busy out of the accident scene there. Eastbound, that's where that is, I-20. If you're headed toward Alabama this morning, if you're trying to get the directions, that's the direction that it is in there. Already 7:09 this morning. Time is flying. We're underway. We'll get into our local headlines and tell you what happened last night. Well, there was a shooting. We'll tell you all about that next here. Don't rush off. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at the Scotty Ray Report.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinara Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Welcome back, and Bob was asking where the mile marker where the accident is. It's between 166 and 167 eastbound. Tumsuba exit where you'd get off I-20. It'll be just north of there, mile and a half there. So be prepared for that. Now, this is going to be going on today if you can make it out. I hope you can. She was a sweet lady. I think most of us knew her. And then tragedy would strike. And what am I talking about when it comes to tragedy? Cancer. It affects a lot of us. And Sherry Berry also couldn't get away from it. That stuff is bad. As today we celebrate her life, what she'd done for Meridian and all. As we remind you, this will be taking place today. It will begin right around 11 a.m. A dedication ceremony for her will be held today at 10 a.m. at the First Presbyterian Church. It's located at 903 23rd Avenue. Now, the House passed this bill, and what this will be, starting at North Hill Street, a stretch of Highway 39 down to roughly about 601 along in there, is going to be named in honor of her. If you've looked up and noticed the covering of the signs, they're going to be unveiling that today. Wow. It's tough there. Among those that will be there will be Senator Jeff Tate, Billy Adam Calvert, also Willie Simmons, who's been a regular at our show, will also be there, and Jennifer Branning will be there. She is running for Supreme Court here in Mississippi. She was in here a few weeks ago. They will all be on hand as this gets underway today. I'm assuming that Jimmy will also be there, the current mayor of Meridian, as we do that unveiling. We look forward to that. Again, that's 11 o'clock, downtown Meridian. Again, that's going to be at the church at 903 23rd Avenue. Again, I will not be able to be there due to the fact I'll be in Cuba, Alabama. We'll be thinking of it there. Conahatta having a terrific Tuesday today. As I mentioned a moment ago, this marks, let's move over here to this. This is the third day in a row. Saturday, I would be out, get a call if something's going on near Highland Park. We would go north of there, and I'd find a home to where someone was deceased that had been shot. Awful. Sunday night, I would be off on the street. Was it 15th Street? I believe so. 1100 block of 15th Avenue, actually, is where it was. Yeah, 15th Avenue. As we would find someone else shot. First, we thought it was two people. We reported on that, but a man was shot twice on Sunday night. It was around 9:30. He would get one in the arm and then one to the side. As I dug deeper into this yesterday, we found out what else went on. I thought maybe somebody else had an injury. Maybe it was a flesh wound. I kept getting back and forth information on this. As it turns out, there was another man that had a wound to his head. It was because of a shovel. Now, I don't know the tie. I didn't get the police report as to who, what, or how was going on, but we had one man that was hit with the shovel, another man that was shot twice. They were connected in some shape, form, or way, but it was not a shooting on the second person as we thought at first it was. But we would soon find out. That was 2 days in a row. Last night, here we go again. We have for the third day in a row, someone else shot. This time, this would involve if you were up last night and you happen to see a white Tahoe fleeing the scene in that area, Rump Road, you might want to call the police department. Maybe you got a home in that area. As we go to the 3800 block of 35th Avenue. You go, well, why is 35th Avenue coming to mind here? Why is that ringing a bell? Twice in the last month or so, if you're sitting at Northcrest Baptist Church, just off of North Hill Street, that first stop sign, that's 35th Avenue that runs directly in front of Northcrest Baptist Church, right there at that little store there, Regency Apartments, we've had 2 shootings. We had another the other night that happened there. No one was hit, but the store had some bullets bounce off of it. It's kind of like bulletproof, isn't it? If you keep going south from there, you will eventually end up where the Church of the Mediator was. Many of you were up. I got a lot of messages from people overnight of what is going on as we pull this up. Here's the police on the scene there at the Church of the Mediator, as you'll see there. Shots would ring out right around 11 a.m. last night. We would have one person that would end up being shot. It was a gunshot wound to the arm. The Meridian Police Department arrived on scene quickly from people that were in the area and said, I saw a Tahoe here speed off as soon as we heard the gunshots. So we're assuming that it was some form of an argument or a drive-by that happened here. And again, I don't have all that information at this point. They put this on lockdown, so to speak, at the police department. Sometimes you get a little information from them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes we get a press conference, which I feel like we should have had one with the murder that we had over the weekend. Hadn't seen that. But 3 days in a row. Now, there has been numerous, and I even put this out there the night before, Sunday night, of it was just too dangerous to be out on the streets of Meridian. There's a lot of factors in this. If you follow what happens each year, the hotter it gets, the tensions are, I guess, are what you call higher. And we have more gunshots during the hot weather than ever. Tempers flare and they shoot at one another. It's a yearly thing, and we're right in the middle of this. So we use caution on anything and everything that you're doing right now. It can happen during the day. We're seeing more activity at night here recently. So that's what a recap of what happened last night. Yeah, it's down past Brookdale, as Terry points that out. Brookdale's on your right. If you keep going straight, that's 35th Avenue. And again, this would be at the Church of the Mediator, all up in the parking lot. If you missed all of that, is where this happened last night. No one was, it's not life-threatening to my knowledge. You're right, Bob. Somebody brought a shovel to a gunfight. That's about what happened there. But, as I joke about it, we were talking about this yesterday at lunch. Think about that. Now, a shovel will kill you. That is the same as a bat. And maybe I should have shown this the other day. I've still got the video. I just didn't put it up because it's just meanness. There was an argument at the Doughboy Monument. I've got the video of it. A guy jumps out with a baseball bat and chases another guy. That happened. I still got the video of it. Jumped straight out of his truck and chased the fella. He didn't get him. He swung a few times. He won't be called to the New York, was it New York Giants? Is that what it is? New York, what is it when it comes to baseball? It's New York something. I don't watch that anymore either, but the Dodgers, we'll call it. Yeah, he won't be called up for that, but he did swing. That happened in Little Old Meridian, Mississippi as well. Another huge thing that happened yesterday. Clarke County, have I got your attention? I spoke to the sheriff last night. He was en route making his way to Shibuda. They were having a town meeting, which I think is New York Yankees. Thank you, LaWanda. I was just, St. Louis Cardinals, the Yankees. I was way off on that baseball thing, wasn't I? Sorry about that for you baseball fans. As I spoke to the sheriff of Clarke County, Anthony, we're good friends with Anthony, he was headed to Shibuda. As we know, a couple of weeks ago, there was a murder there also. A 17-year-old that was in town from Winston County got murdered. They were going, and I haven't talked to him this morning. We talk a lot of times early in the morning, but I haven't today. They were headed for a meeting down there of the safety of Shibuda, and that's what needs to happen. Law enforcement needs to be a part of the community. When something goes wrong, you don't stay away and you don't not speak about it. You go face it head on and go, let's fix this moving forward. I know there was a party this weekend right around Quitman. No trouble whatsoever. Law enforcement was heavy in the area to make sure that nothing went wrong. Good job, Clarke County. We appreciate that. We had another incident. When Shad Whit comes to town, folks, he means business. And that's where we are of what happened. This time it would be a trip over to Quitman High School. Have y'all heard about this yet? Shad means business, and he came to town and made an arrest, as we have it right here in front of us. Memory Smith, she was the Quitman High School bookkeeper. She's been arrested on one count of embezzlement. She's accused of taking cash from the school activity fund and pocketing the money for her own personal use. Now, as we get into this, it didn't give the actual amount that she took. You wouldn't think it would be a lot of money in a school fund like that, so we're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not in that area. But as we often see with this, it is small. It doesn't matter the amount. Shad Whit will come and make the arrest. She faces a $5,000 fine and up to 20 years in prison. Now, I did glance over the remarks there. Shad is doing his part, the best he can do over this situation, the Brett Favre situation. There's a lot of people that we're talking about on that. Shad has gone after it. He's faced a lot of blocks with this. Brett Favre is sued. I think that lawsuit was thrown out. It could implicate a lot of people. He's doing his job to make sure that justice is done in the state of Mississippi, and we hope he continues to move forward with this, no matter how big, how small, whoever it is, make them be accountable for what they do with your money. And it is your money. I had an argument with somebody the other day about how they got paid. They worked for the state. If you work for the state, you're getting your money from tax dollars. Those people, that little stuff you get in the mail every year you have to pay, that's how they make their money. Shad's trying to do the right thing. We don't know where this is. What, been going on 5 years now with all of that? A lot of people implicated, but that's all we know at this point. A lot of stalls in the roadway, isn't it? We'll be right back. We got more to talk about. Rodney, you may have just hit the nail on the head. He's a bloodhound. When he gets the scent, he goes after it. We respect that. Now, has there been a lot? Before we hit the commercials here, we'll just go ahead and bring this up. There is lots of talk that Shad could run for governor of the Mississippi. There's a lot of names that are coming out that are wanting this. Of course, Delbert most likely will run for lieutenant governor, for governor. The name to watch is Duff. Mississippi's own him and his brother are the only that exist. They're billionaires in the state of Mississippi. They know a lot about business and how to make things work. Odds are, and it has not publicly been said, but I've seen him at too many events, walking around, shaking hands, and there's a good chance that man will run for office. We'll see that. Gibson, the agricultural guy, he wants to be it. Lynn Finch wants to be it. Word is if Duff may run, then that may push Shad to run for maybe attorney general. He'd probably make a good attorney general, and then in time make his turn and run for governor of the great state of Mississippi. We'll see. It's all politics. All of this could change. None of that's written in concrete. Shad is JAG in our Guards unit. Didn't know that, Terry. Don't need any rhinos. You're absolutely right. No rhinos. We don't need those in office. We'll be right back. A lot to talk about this morning here at the Scotty Ray Report. Good morning to you. Let's put a smile on. 76 as you're waking up, getting that day started.
I'm Alan Hunt at Meridian Cycles, and let me tell you about some of the great deals we have this month. We have up to $3,000 rebates on side-by-sides. We have up to $1,000 rebates on four-wheelers, as well as 0% interest. Come see us at 80 Highway 19 North right here in Meridian, or give us a call at 601-485-8700. Ask for Alan or Mike Boswell. We'll be glad to help you. Come see us.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real steel. Find yours.
Oh, that means I've got to talk again, doesn't it? If you're waking up going, where in the world is Odie? It does look a little different without him sitting here, doesn't it? Greg's not in this morning. Odie is at an accident, I'm just recapping for everybody, that happened on I-20 eastbound, mile marker 167 is where that is. So as we get ready for that. Also coming up, we're going to be talking about the winner. We did an online contest there for tickets to the Riley Center. There's a show coming up, Nikki Lane, on Thursday night. We're going to be announcing the winners, everybody that called in and dropped off their information. We're going to draw from that. I just got the text that we've got the winners there from our IT department. We'll get those on in a little bit. And I'm also getting word, I know you're tired of hearing me say this, but I think maybe this week, if I can get back with our people, we'll have our app ready. I think it's real close. It may even be ready at this point. Maybe it's going live in the next 24 hours. I'll have you more on that in the next little bit. As we look at some of these comments, there's a lot of people that don't want to prosecute. Oh, it's true. Turn the head and look the other way. Shad's not that way, and we do hope that justice is carried out on this. It may take a few years, but let's hope that continues to happen there. Let's see what else is going on. Boy, we had a lot of fires that happened with vehicles yesterday. Let me show you this. I know a lot of you have children that go to Mississippi State. This is Starkville, Mississippi. This happened. afternoon. That's the wrong button. Here we go. Let's see here. As we look at this, look at that car that's on fire. And that was not the only one that went on. Let's see here. I had another one here. This is going to be on I-20, exit 71, across the Bama state line. As we look at this here, look at this. Now, as you look in the distance, that's an 18-wheeler is what this is, and it's carrying cars. If you were getting a truck delivered, there's issues. You're not going to get it. Tuscaloosa on the scene there, putting that fire out yesterday. Huge, huge fire, and those things happen a lot. And one more as we look at this was yesterday afternoon. I want to say somewhere around 5:30. I got word of this that the Mississippi Highway Patrol was on scene. They were going, something's up ahead of me. I can't see. And this is what it was. As we look here, another 18-wheeler caught fire there. That's not the clearest picture, but that's the best we could do. There was no way to get there through the traffic, so we took what we could get on that. But man alive, a bunch of those. So a salute to our volunteer fire departments that do their job. Have you seen this? We reported on the fire yesterday morning. I didn't have it in front of me, but I want to pull this up and show y'all exactly what our guys do. The Meridian Fire Department, we posted this, but seeing is believing of what it's like to be a fireman. Let's go here. This is, I think, from Engine 1. That's a big fire. That is what our fire department faces every single day. Big thank you to the chief. And that was Engine 1 that responded to that and got some backup help from other fire departments. It was big. Abandoned home that caught fire. Fortunately, no one injured. And I know the next question is, well, what caused the fire? As we all know, there's vagrants everywhere. That's what probably caused the fire. There was someone trying to get in there. And I want to say this, and I don't even know who to call because I'm not sure who owns it. But I had some pictures that were shown to me this week. If you're going up, and if you own it, you might want to check into this. Where Walmart is. You come to the stop sign and take a left to go up to the mall. What is that, Virginia Drive sitting there? Well, right to the left there is those storage buildings. I had somebody that was interested in a storage building, whipped in to take a look, and guess what? Locks had been broke and homeless were living in it. No, I'm not lying. Full of it. So if you happen to own that or know the owner of that, and I don't even know the name of it, I just see them as I scoot by from time to time. Caution in that area. You don't know who they are or where they're from or what they've done. They may be the greatest people in the world and just passing through town. Again, they could be somebody you don't want to bump into, but I saw the pictures. There were homeless living in those. Be careful if you're up there, especially if you're by yourself. And if y'all happen to know who owns that, please let them know that. I haven't looked at the number and I haven't gone by since those pictures were shown to me, but that was happening. Take it to the bank on that. I got reports yesterday of, Scotty Ray, where are you? There's gunfire. I just heard it. So here we go. Off in the Tahoe we went, and we would end up right here. This was at 49th Street and 42nd Avenue. That area there, you put a perimeter around that, and that's where the gunshots were heard and seen. There was a car that sped away from it. No one was hurt. No one was injured. But again, what goes up must come down. Just passing along what we saw. And for some reason, I lost the address. I had it. You ever have it? And I can't find what I scribbled it on. Last night, in the early morning hours, we had someone stumble upon a bicycle at a stop sign. It was off the beaten path on a smaller road that was run over. No one was hit. No one was injured, but a bicycle was left in the road and somebody run over it. As I often tell you many, many, many times, if you travel the streets of Meridian at night, We had, this has been a couple of months ago, we can sit here and say it doesn't exist, but it does. There is drug problems, and Meridian got a bad batch of it, and there were people passed out in the streets there for about a 2-week period there, flopped, laying down. Be careful if you travel the roads. You work that midnight to 6 a.m. shift. You leave home at 11 o'clock going in somewhere. Be careful. You never know what's going to be in a roadway dealing with things of that nature, believe that or not. We got a lot more going on. We'll find out where Otis is. I'll send him a text and see where he is and make sure everybody's okay out at that accident. Happy anniversary to Gail and Diane Nelson. 36 years. Congratulations there. Hope it's a big one there. Tina put up a comment there. Mississippi Volunteer Fire Department should get a relief on taxes or tags. She said it would become a thing of the past if something isn't done. Oh, I see it right now. I know exactly what you're talking about, Tina. It's hard to get folks to volunteer for this. It's a good thing for your community, no matter where you're watching me for, to do this. But can I sit here and tell you it's a cakewalk? I cannot. I can tell you that these guys that live next door to you jump in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. and they run down to somebody that's having a seizure, that thinks they're having a heart attack. Sometimes it's even worse that they actually did. Sometimes it's to help gain entry to a home. Someone hadn't been heard of in the middle of the night. There's car accidents. These guys do this. And ladies, I see so many of you that have taken that pledge to jump up and join in. Again, with all this being said, you don't have to be knowledgeable of everything. You can drive a truck. You can direct traffic when these accidents happen. But it's a lot of work, and the next generation just does not seem to be interested. Why? It's tough. It is. If you work a job, jump up in the middle of the night, a lot of the folks are retired. Do what you can. Help where you can. We'll be right back. We will do some This Day in History. We're going to have to do it all by our lonesome since Otis is not sitting with us. We'll be right back in just a moment at the Scotty Ray Report.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back. I hope your morning is going well. I see Shirley Buckley is up. Oh, with that new last name she's trying to flash off there, Orlando. She just happened to have a man. She can't stand it. Shirley, make sure to put on some makeup today, girl. I accidentally knocked on her door one morning before 7:30. Woof! Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, Shirley. Good morning to you. 7:35. I was an hour off, wasn't I? As we look back at this day in history, always look at this as a learning experience and a trip down memory lane. I love this. I look forward to this every day, of sharing this with you and going over everything. I'm going to get you, Shirley. That's what you said to that poor boy that you're married to now. And we believe you, Shirley. Let's go back to 1911. I would have to say, of everybody that's ever come across this and been called a redhead, this would have to be, well, America's most famous redhead. There's two that sticks out. One is Reba, and this would be the first. We'll call her the First Lady of Redheads, as we go back to remember Lucille Ball, born on this day, one of the smartest, funniest ladies that was ever upon this earth. She knew what to do and how to do it. 1911 she was born, and she'd be one of the first there to keep the copyrights to her show. Who would have thunk that those reruns would still be being played? They are, aren't they? And you know the key to all of this stuff? We talk about this stuff each and every day. Why is it still a standard? Because it's not ugly. It doesn't have disgusting scenes. It's just pure good stuff. Nature, funny things that happen in life. You ain't got to be ugly to be funny. New comedians have kind of missed that. Now, I've never seen this show, but I know the name. Many times as I was a kid growing up, people referred to it as, when's that Dinah Shore show coming on? I never saw it. I'm not going to lie about it. But she was born in 1939, and well worth a nod to remember Dinah Shore being born on this day. You'll remember her for that. First broadcast in 1939, the 1939 show. Today is one of those days where the United States kept saying, back off or we're going to have to do the unthinkable. It was a secret mission that was going on. They were building this behind closed doors. And on August 6, 1945, and I read an article about the guy that was the pilot who pulled the lever. It was a lot of people that lost their lives due to this. But we had to do something to end the war, and this was the way to do it, and it stopped it, without a doubt. 80,000 people would end up being affected by this. As we go back today, it was dropped today. Y'all remember that? The atomic bomb, it was dropped. Roughly 80,000 people were killed. Another 35,000 injured. Another 60,000 would be dead by the end of the year from that. War is not good. It's not fun. It's often romanticized. But we all know reality is not good when it comes to war. Heard someone make a comment, and to some degree it's true. The heroes and the cowards fall and all look the same on a battlefield, someone said. A hero should never be compared to a coward. But what they were saying is war is just awful, is what they meant by that statement. Bad on a battlefield. There's a lot of good Americans. You see it behind me here. And I've said this before. Every piece of thread of material that you see back there, a life was given that so you and I can be here today together. A lot to that. Let's go back to 1960 and change the attitude of here, or the mood, that's a better word for it, of something fun that came along. The song had been recorded, but, well, nothing really become of it until this guy did it. And he got up and done a little dance with it. And next thing you know, let's all do the twist. 1960, he performed it there, the twist on American Bandstand. And as we talked about it beginning this week in 1957, it would be what would change it. Television really brought to life rock and roll. And it did it there for Chubby Checker. His entire life was around that. That one song changed his whole world there. I often, we even had the preacher from Collinsville yesterday, Brother Ben, preach on it. You've heard the name Chuck Norris, hadn't you? Oh, Walker, Texas Ranger. The thing about Walker, well, at least the one that Chuck Norris played, it was going to be a good part. And it will be one of those shows that reruns, kind of like Andy Griffith, is played for your grandchildren years from now, because it always had a plot. It had something good at the end, a message each show had. This is when this character was added. It had a little bit of a different feel there. Y'all remember this girl that was on there? Nia Peoples? She was born today. She was best known for playing Nicole. As we get into this, no, she was Cookie on Walker. She played Nicole on another show. But y'all remember her being on there? And that old boy over there was nothing that was muscle that played the karate chopping guy. Walker, Texas Ranger. Loved that show. Always a good thing. This headline is wrong on here, for I got to change it. But do y'all remember Punky Brewster? Do y'all remember her? Yeah. She was born on this date. Let me show you her picture there. That's what she looked like as a kid. This is her all grown up there. She had her birthday today there, Miss Fry. And again, my apologies there for not changing the headline. I somehow or another got tripped up on that. And Anitra, I'm with you. The new Walker does not cut it. It doesn't. It doesn't have the same feel, and I can't put up with it. This next guy We've all seen him year after year after year, and we don't know who he is, but boy, did he play I don't know, maybe if you added all of his parts together, maybe he had a minute and a half, maybe in the movie, but everybody knows him and that teddy bear. And the big discussion is that really a Christmas movie? I say no. Greg says yes. Y'all remember this guy? He was born in 1965. He's the guy that was the limo driver. Y'all remember him? He's got a big birthday today. I don't know of anything else the guy has done. He probably did something, but it didn't stick out like that one little part that he had there in the back of that limo being locked inside there. Now, detective shows have always been a big one for America. We always loved them, from Barnaby Jones. We started out with that, to Cannon, to Maxwell, and it just goes on with, what was it, Miami Vice, the list goes, Magnum P.I. This one, during the 80s, I really liked. He was just an all-around tough guy. Y'all remember Hunter, the TV show? Do y'all remember that? The detective show? Stephanie Kramer, who was his more or less sidekick from the show, was born today. It's been a spell ago, 1966, but that was big in the late 80s there. And y'all remember Hunter. And I don't see it on reruns. Hadn't in years. Must not have crossed the criteria. It was today. This is a big deal because Babe Ruth, by far, was one of the what I guess you would call one of the greatest American heroes. Baseball, everybody loved it. He set record after record after record. But it would be 1972, and y'all probably know where I'm headed with this, that his record would be beat. A guy named Hank Aaron would break that today. He hit his 660th and 661st home run with the Atlanta Braves there. He broke it. Congratulations to that. Hank Aaron, a name that will also go down in baseball forever, everybody remembering this. I hate Greg's not here to talk about this. He was different. He happened to bump into the most beautiful girl in the world, and, well, he had a number one today also in 77. Anybody remember Keep On Rolling with the Flow? Charlie Rich, better known as the Silver Fox. Number one, 1977 is when that all happened. Believe it or not. Boy. Maybe you liked him, maybe you didn't. Now, this is by far three names probably stick out in the world of country music from the 1980s. That just every time you turned around, they had a number one hit. Randy Travis there in the late 80s. He came along 1986, 1987 and started piling out those number one hits. The early 80s, Alabama, they would have 40 number one hits total. Who had the most number ones in the 1980s? You would almost go, it was Alabama. That was not it. It was this guy. And I refer to him often as the Lionel Richie of country music. Oh, it was good. Fire and smoke. But this one went number one today. Earl Thomas Conley had the number one with Your Love Is on the Line. Y'all remember that? ETC. I'm a big fan. Once in a blue moon, I'll do something right. Whew. Doesn't get any better than that. As we move forward to 1988, this is one of those sad songs, and I almost put up one of her pictures to go with this. He's a legend. We would see him come onto the scene in 1980. He was over in Hawaii serving his country and started a band, and next thing you know, he gets a record deal. It comes out and it screams to number one. Y'all remember Unwound? It'd be today in 88 that we would know him some 7-8 years later after his career took off, that he'd have a song. It was about his daughter. It was written specifically for her. Next time you listen to this, pay attention to what it says. Y'all remember Baby Blue? It went number one today, and that was written about George's daughter that lost her life in that car wreck. Best I remember, she was with some friends. Car overturned and she was killed in the accident. Wesley says he retired from the Navy. 1988. What was that song, In the Navy? Okay, Joyce says that Hunter is on 218 on Dish if you use the satellites. 218. I like that show. I really did. ETC. Bob knew what I was talking about. As we look at another George Strait moment, y'all remember this, but I am shocked by telling you that this is 2024, and this was 2007. Where is time going? I'm no longer a young man, and you may not be either. 2007 George Strait, it just released. How about them Cowgirls? Y'all remember that? Got shipped to radio. It seems like it was yesterday. Have mercy, have mercy. I got one more year as we look at country music. This really, I know Mark Chestnut done this first. It was a rush as people ran into the studio to record a song. But it goes to show how the same thing can be done one way, can be done another. One way is lackluster, and the other way is a game changer. And this is what happened on the state. It was 1990 that this old boy from Oklahoma had made his way to Nashville, and, well, Friends in Low Places took the number one slot. And if you've never heard the Mark Chestnut version, go back and you'll be tickled to go back and listen to Garth's, because Mark's is not good. And I think there's some other people that recorded it through the years, but it just, no comparison whatsoever there. Deborah, good morning there. I was incorrect. Dinah Shore and Clint Walker connection. Clint Walker was in a lot of Westerns, if I remember correctly. Blue Mo, Mississippi, joining in. Buddy, how in the world are you there? Glad to have you part of the show with us this morning. We talked about this guy earlier, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week we brought him up. Mr. Super Freak. There's, as you look at the rock stars, and that happens to country, don't get me wrong, but you look at a lot of these rock stars, Morrison, Janis Joplin, a demise usually comes with fame they can't handle, and, well, he was 56, and on this date, he didn't make it anymore. 2004, Rick James was found dead. She's a super freak, the kind of girl you don't take home to mama. You've probably heard that in an elevator somewhere, even if you don't listen to that type of music. Rick James wore the boots and was kind of scary. Rick James. 2011, this is a day that sometimes we get caught up in everyday life and you forget, as I brought up the flag back there, you forget those who made it possible for what we do. It was 2011, Afghanistan. Kind of like hell on earth is what I would call it, as we go back to remember 6 of our boys were shot down in Afghanistan. Navy SEAL 6. 38 people were aboard that copter. They lost their lives. 38 people. Remember those boys. They still got family, loved ones that miss them to this day. And again, it gives us the freedoms that we have in a world that we sometimes don't understand, isn't it? If I am not mistaken, he is, in a roundabout way, and y'all correct me, a lot of you probably know this, Jimmy Stewart is by far my favorite actor that ever graced a movie screen. Jimmy Stewart was just the American guy, the average guy that had that language that you understood. It was plain, it was simple, and he always stood up for the average guy. I liked him a lot. If I'm not mistaken, this guy is some shape, form, akin to him. He is nowhere near in the class that Jimmy was, but he was kin to him. It was 2015 that he promised us he would never come to television again. He lied. He's back on there again. Jon Stewart supposedly had retired from The Daily Show, and this guy's real liberal. He's way out there. Nowhere near what Jimmy Stewart was. But he promised he'd retire, and he's back on there now. Ratings got so bad they had to bring him back to help out. He's either doing 1 or 2 weeks, 2 days a week now for the show. It tanked. Had high ratings while he was doing. Today, like him or not, he has changed the way media does things. I remember the first time I watched him, he ripped his shirt off, and I thought, I got to go. I can't handle this. He was screaming and hollering at the screen, saying that people were taking advantage of the United States. Well, he would get busted here in the end. He made claims that weren't true. Apple, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all at one time got rid of him. Cut him off, nipped him in the bud, so to speak. Do y'all remember Alex Jones? Bankruptcy is where he's at now, and his show is barely making it by. That's what happened in 18 on this date with this. I have not watched this. I am sure that a bunch of you your granddaughters have watched this. There's no way, because it was just too big for them not to. It's just not my type thing, but I understand there's an audience for this. 1 year ago today, Barbie surpassed $1 billion at the box office. Can y'all believe that? $1 billion. Barbie. My, oh my, oh my. Woo. Buddy, how you doing there? So good to see you there. As always, we love to hear from you. We don't forget your birthdays and anniversaries. We're going to put those together. I got to send a quick text to make sure we've got all those compiled here in a moment to go over those. We'll be right back. We got more to talk about, more local events. It's not over yet. Again, if you're waking up and just tuned into the show, Odie's at an accident this morning out in Tumsuba on I-20 of an 18-wheeler. That's where he's at this point. We'll keep you covered. We'll be back with more information in just a moment.
Hi, folks. Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Just $41 a month for this new Brother embroidery machine. Buy it local and get instructions for life, service, financing, the lowest price guaranteed, and take it home today at the Sewing and Vacuum Center in Meridian and so Select in Flowood and Hattiesburg.
Rockhouse Gun and Pound, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn. Summertime has arrived and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Tuesday morning. Can y'all believe that as we face today? We've got some reminders of things that are happening that we'll bring up here in just a moment there. Anitra Collins, some movies do have hidden messages. Bob bringing up George and Tammy, Golden Ring. That really was one of the... It hit number one day this week, if I remember right. Barbie had a lot of hidden messages. I didn't agree. I hadn't watched it. I do know this. There's a lot with Disney. Y'all know this as well as I do now. They start out young and put those little subliminal things... political messages, and even in Disney shows. Now, it ain't right. I don't agree with it whatsoever. As I mentioned, this girl's going to be here in town coming up on Thursday night. We had asked you, we put several posts out asking you to enter the contest. Your tickets will be available for you at the box office at the Riley Center. Let's pull this up where you can see this. We just posted this just a moment ago. Nikki Lane's going to be here Thursday night, 7 p.m. at the Riley Center. Congratulations to Chastity K. White, Darryl Rouse, Sarah Tucker, Anita Watson, and Dot Turner. You all are headed off to the show. Again, thank you so much for doing that with us. We'll have some more of these. We do have our line set up now. We'll be able to start taking numbers and push out for you to send us messages and all. Cartoons have a lot of hidden messages. I got to agree with that. But congratulations to Nikki Lane, the MSU Riley Center, as we get ready for a great year of shows that are coming up. Hope you enjoy that. I can get out. I want to remind you, we brought this up earlier. This comes up today. Don't forget Sherry Berry, that coming up at 11 o'clock today, downtown Meridian at the First Presbyterian Churches. They'll hold the ceremony for her. Saturday morning, I got a message that said, where in the world are you? I didn't get a chance to show this yesterday, but still worth showing. I want y'all to look at this as Saturday morning, West Lauderdale Elementary School. Maybe you watched this, maybe you didn't. Have y'all seen this, the balloons? As they were getting ready, and I know that's a little bit loud there, that sound. They're just absolutely gorgeous. We got two in the background that are getting ready to take off. Let me forward this up a little bit. There it goes, getting ready to take off. And up, and away she goes. Now, I have no desire to do that. Odie seems to love that. There's a lot of you who do. It's just not my. It's too little bitty of a box with no safety handles there for me to hang on to when I get scared. Y'all can have my ride. I will not fight you over that. But that happened over the weekend. We wanted to bring that up, make sure you were aware of that. Also, I didn't get a chance to show this yesterday. I think at some point, most people in the Meridian area probably went to Lonnie and Pat's to eat. Y'all remember that? Old Poplar Springs Drive, right down from D's Automotive. Y'all know where I'm talking about? Well, right next to Lonnie and Pat's was an old bookstore. I think the sign says the Book Exchange. It's all grown up. It's gone. We had a company in town that noticed, what's that? My truck is gone. Here's the Meridian Police Department as they were on scene with this. This would happen Friday. And again, we ran out of time yesterday to get everything on, but I still wanted to show this to show you what criminals will do to hide things after things are stolen. As we come across here, here's the Book Exchange, and look here behind the store. What is that right there? That's a 1-ton pickup truck that the thief or thieves would drive behind the building and park. When cars are stolen in Meridian, look for this. Now, I don't think this was going to be a part of a crime. It may have been taken for some other reason, but cars are stolen a lot to be used in a crime that they know they're going to commit in a couple of days. So they'll steal a car in advance, take it somewhere and hide it in the bushes, hide the key to where they can come back and use it. Criminals are smarter than you think. There are some dumb ones, but they do this. Oh, they're switching tags too. If you wake up one morning and your car doesn't have a tag, well, someone's borrowed it so they can go do a crime. If you have one stolen, always contact the sheriff's department. Let them know that it's missing off your car. We don't ever want your tag number to be called in that you were a part of something that you weren't. Here's something that as we go to Jackson, Mississippi, they have called somebody out on this, and it's important. Mississippi men, we'll put it that way, business has been banned from selling tax services. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's a tax service where you go and have your taxes made. The problem was the group was letting people write things off that you couldn't. And it was beating the state of Mississippi out of taxes. So they thought the Department of Justice has banned these fellas from ever doing tax paperwork in the state of Mississippi. They call it the TRIO, Fraudulent Tax Scheme at Professional Conferences. They even did speakings to where you could come to and learn what your company could do as small businesses to write off. Told you some wrong advice there. They've been banned from the state of Mississippi. Woof. I want to show you this as we go to Pearl, Mississippi. In my world, there is no place for a man that, no lower life than a man that will hit a woman or hit a mother. Things of that nature is just not acceptable in any shape, form, or way. We do see that we have an arrest now. This comes out of Pearl, Mississippi, and we want to show this because it was brutal of what he did. And it's his face, not her. We're not going to show anything that is bad. But this man has been arrested here. He's from Morton is where it happened. He's been arrested on aggravated domestic violence there. From what I understand, the young lady that was attacked, it was brutal. A savage has been used in the headline in several instances to describe what happened to her. Needs to be dealt with. It's awful. Anything that picks on someone who can't help themselves, elderly, ladies, children. And y'all correct me. The older I get, is it that I'm getting softer hearted? I seem to want to take up more for those who can't take up for themselves. And what I mean by that, have you ever seen an animal, a puppy dog, a kitten that has no voice? Someone is mistreating it. All that bothers me now worse than anything, especially a child who has no voice, that looks to adults for leadership, for guidance. And then you have someone who mistreats them. An animal never asks for that. They do it every day, and y'all know that as well as I do. My whole process as I get older has changed. It bothers me to no end. And we do hope that justice is served on those who mistreat others that can't help themselves. That's my 2 cents on that. I can wake up in the middle of the night and it gives me the heebie-jeebies and wants to go after somebody that's doing that, hurting someone. I can't handle that anymore. Ridgeland, Mississippi, as I look at a few headlines from across the state before we go to commercials and come back with some other things. A mother most likely never has this thought in her head as we go to Ridgeland, Mississippi. A mother has been killed by her son. He would then commit suicide. She was 77, if I'm not mistaken. She was 76. He was about 43. Killed his mother, shot her in the chest, and then would take his own life with a gun before police arrived. A mother, I'm sure, I'm not a mother. I don't, as a father, it would never even cross my mind that a child of mine would want to hurt me. It happens every day in America, I'm ashamed to say. There's some folks that do not need to walk among us. We'll be right back as we get this day underway. I don't want to depress you or anything. We'll give you all the details. All that's next here in just a moment there. Donna says, you have grown up in many ways. There's a lot of things. Yeah. I looked in the mirror the other day and thought, wow, who is that? Who is that masked man standing there? Time catches us, doesn't it? It does. We'll be right back.
Jordan LaParish Tractor here to talk about our fall hunting package, the Whitetail Widowmaker L2502 DT with a DH1560, an RCR 1260 6-foot cutter. You're going to get a free pipe top trailer with that. We're about 60 days from hunting season. This package is going to start around $29,999 cash, as little as $385 per month. Come see us. 4 locations: Meridian, Hattiesburg, Poplarville, Robertsdale, and coming soon to the Panhandle of Florida.
Place to eat? Well, come explore the great flavors of the French Quarter in downtown Enterprise. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a cozy atmosphere with great service that make dining with the French Quarter an unforgettable experience. Drop by today and taste our delicious dishes. Come explore the flavors of the French Quarter. 120 West Bridge Street, downtown Enterprise. Call 601-659-0500, the French Quarter. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we look at, is it karma? I'm not sure what the word is on this as I turn to Columbus, Mississippi to look at a couple of things that went on there. A woman went into a store and she attempted to steal a gun from the store. During the struggle, she was shot. I think she was shot twice with this. She'll be arrested for the attempted to steal. What makes people want to do that? But she was shot during a struggle to steal a gun from a school, from a convenience store. Is how that happened. I said school. It was a convenience store where that happened there. We have an Oxford man that going to spend a little time behind bars. What did he do? This is a shameful thing. Shameful. He attempted to get a minor to send him. Let me think of the word explicit. That's the word I want to use, of a minor to send him explicit photos of herself. Off to jail he will go for, as I mentioned there a moment ago, a couple of things that you just don't do there. Let's see here. There was a national story that I wanted to bring up that I saw this morning, if I can find it here. And I may not be. Mom arrested. This is, right now, I bring this up because this is where I wanted to go with this. whether it's a child, a puppy dog. Now, human life is the most important. I don't want anybody to take wrong how I just said that. Leaving someone, a child or a dog or anything in your car can lead to death. And we see that a mother is going to be arrested. She left a child in a car to go get pizza. Took longer than she thought, and the child died. This happens every day across America. This was in Houston, Texas. It can happen here. The temperatures today are going to reach 100, heat index 108. It does not take any time for it to turn bad in a car at all. Watch what you do. Remember what you're doing. Don't leave anybody in the car. If someone is in a car, make sure it's running, that they're safe, that they're cool there. I just got word that the truck driver's more shaken up than hurt at the accident. That's good news. So they'll get the truck out of there. Y'all be expecting this. Mile marker 166, 167 in that stretch past Tumsuba, the east side going toward Alabama. Accident this morning. You'll see some 18-wheelers out there in a little bit. Wreckers removing that truck. We want to make sure that you're well aware of that. Again, the Sherry Berry event coming up today where she will have part of Highway 39 named in her honor. We're glad that begins at 11 o'clock. I will be in Cuba, Alabama here in just a little while to speak at the Baptist Church. Can't wait for that event. Normally we do the birthdays at this time, and well, I couldn't keep up with them as we began the show. So what we will do in the morning, we'll give away a coffee mug in the morning for today and one for tomorrow at the same time. So my apologies on that. I just didn't have enough hands to reach everywhere and write them all down. So we'll go back and we'll get those. Thank you very much. I can't thank everyone enough for being a part of our show, of what we do every day. Oh, we work 24/7, bringing you the headlines of what happens in our community. And as always, if you see something, inbox us. Let us know what's happening in your part of your community. We appreciate y'all so much. Deborah, how are y'all? As always, there's one reason that we're here, one reason only. Someone, and I answered it the best way that I could. I truly, 139%, if that's a number, believe that I have been beyond blessed by the good Lord above of where I am and what I do every day. He has allowed me to do this for you. Some few years ago, I was not able to. We started with absolutely nothing, and we've built our way up. It is a blessing from Jesus Christ, the man above, that I am where I am, and thankfully he has brought you to me in some shape, form, or way, and we work together each day. That is my thought for today. Be blessful. Help someone today if you can. A smile, open a door, whatever it is. Let them know that there is a God above. He is. He's there. He'll save you and me at the end of it. This world is just a passage. Never forget that. There's something greater on the other side. No matter what pain you've got now, there's a better day ahead. You won't have any of that. Streets of gold, those pearly gates, it does exist. Thank y'all. God bless you, and I'll be back in the morning. Hopefully, Odie will be able to make it in the morning as well. We appreciate y'all so much, and we'll see you here in just a little while, Cuba, Alabama, at the Scotty Ray Report.